The expected value is often referred to as the long-term average or the mean. All right, this means that as time goes on, we go through this experiment, we're looking at it over and over again. We did this many times. We would expect this to be the average value or average amount that occurred. All right, so it is found. We're going to note it like the mean, mu. Let me try to make that look a little more official. Maybe. You know, some of them have that little lip too. Mu, not an M, okay, Greek letter mu. We also can see it denoted like this, the expected value of our random variable x. All right, and it's found with a formula. Looks a little complicated, but let me explain to you what it is as we do it. We are going to take a product of the random variable x times the probability of its corresponding piece. So the variable itself, the numerical value, times the probability of that numerical value occurring. So a product of those two things, x times p of x. All right, we're going to take all of these products and then we're going to add them together. So in math notation, we use a capital sigma to denote that we are going to add all of these values together, all of the values of following. And technically there should be some indexes on this sigma, but I'm not going to write them. I'm going to try to keep this looking as simple as possible. So we're going to multiply all the x's times p of x's, and then we're going to add them all together. The sum of the products. All right, multiply them all, add them together. Let's look at an example. Revisiting an example, Nancy attending class from 0 times to 3 times a week. So in order to use, we're going to use our chart, our probability distribution function. We're just going to add a column to help us find this expected value. All right, this one extension going on here. So we have our random variable x, we have the corresponding probabilities, and now we have to add a third column for the products. So here, x times p of x is going to be 0 times 0.01. The probability of x being 0 is 0.01. All right, so we multiply those together, and that's what's going to go across our chart in this column here. So 0 times 0.01 is 0. All right, now we go to the next row. The probability of x being 1, her attending class 1 time, is 0.04. So 1 times 0.04 is 0.04, 0.00, 0.04. All right, let me write on the side here where these are coming from. 0 times 0.01. 1 times 0.04. 2 times 0.15, that's going to equal 0.30, and 3 times 0.8 is going to equal 2.40. So don't be alarmed that this value is now greater than 1. These are no longer probabilities. These are random variables times their corresponding probabilities. These are not probabilities themselves. So 2.4 is a perfectly acceptable answer. Now, these were all of the products. We need to sum or add all of the products together. So that's what this extra box here is. I'm actually going to do it below just to give us a little more room. We're going to add all of these values together. So 4, 7, 2.74. Right, so this means, let's talk about what this is in the context of this problem, okay? Again, it's always very important that we take a result and are able to kind of bring it back into what it means. While here, we're talking about the number of times Nancy goes to class in a week, 0, 1, 2, or 3. What this is showing us is if we look for weeks and weeks and weeks, on average, she attends class 2.74 times a week. So your unit of this expected value is always going to be the same unit of whatever your random variable was. For us, 0, 1, 2, 3, those are the number of times she attends class in a week. So let's write a little sentence. On average, Nancy attends class 2.74 times a week. Now, when it comes to a summary, you can take a little liberty. Here you could say she attends class between 2 and 3 times a week because she can't attend 2.74 times. Exactly. This is an average. If we look at it, she attends probably 3 more often than she attends 2 because 2.74 is closer to 3. But this is a fine summary as well because you see that information here. You see, okay, she was closer to 3 than she was to 2. But that's what this is. This is the number of times in a week on average that Nancy attends class. So when you go to write a summary for expected value, you really want to include some verbs like that. Use the words on average somewhere or the average number somewhere because that is what the expected value is.